Has there ever been a bike trail you've been meaning to go on, but you haven't because you didn't have the things you needed? You couldn't take with the things you wanted in order to make it a fun trip. So that's why I pieced together an awesome trailer, and I wanted to share it with you guys. You don't need a lot of money. Here you can see I just pieced together, all I have in it is scraps. And I'll show you the parts I used for this bike trailer and how I assembled it. So let's take a look. So I had some leftover yellow pine lumber, and as you can see, the frame itself here I cut to a thickness of 1 inch by 2 inches. So that gave me the rigidity I needed for a strong bike trailer, and you don't need a whole lot more than that framing. This piece was added in order to put the hitch, and I'll show you how I made that out of an extra piece. But I used decking screws, and that's a very strong way to hold something together. The sheer strength of the decking screws is amazing, and I'd recommend that first to hold the frame together. And most people use 1/4 inch, and I would say that's strong. 3/8 would be better, definitely, and I used half. As you can see, I had leftover OSB, but I prefer this 1/2 inch plywood here, pine. It's actually lighter, so you could do that. 3/8 would be better, lighter. But this trailer doesn't weigh a whole lot, and I'm very, very happy with it. And I want to show you how I constructed the wheels, and that's one of the harder things to work on a trailer, is come up with a way to frame out wheels. I've seen people make plates, and most people don't have, sheet metal available or a bandsaw to cut a nice piece. So I just took the feet on a wheelbarrow, and you can see that's where the foot of the wheelbarrow would be, down here, and this would go up to the frame of the wheelbarrow to attach. And I sawed the tops off there to frame, and I drilled holes for the bolts of the wheel and sawed down with my sawzall. So a good metal blade on a sawzall should do the trick. A reciprocating saw like that is what you need, or a grinder with a metal cutting wheel. So just took 2 old bike wheels and made it happen. See, there's the rear wheel, and that's all you need. I mean, that gives you the mobility. You need a vise, a hammer to pound them into the right dimensions to hold the wheels, and bolts to hold each side. And I centered them, and it worked out just fine. So turning the trailer over, I want to show you the wheel wells I constructed. I mean, it's pretty simple. You could use boards the whole way around, but I just took the 1 inch pine, made it the height I needed, 3 inches high, and took a piece of aluminum left over. That was actually a threshold on the door, and strap aluminum. That's easy to bend if you can find it. Made a great handle. I just attached it, and it's actually easy to lift the trailer now because I have these 2 handles. So the frame of the wheelbarrow base held the wheel well very well, and it's very secure. So let's move on here to the hitch. Now when you're hitching a trailer, you really gotta improvise. I mean, it always pays to keep scrap metal, at a pile in your house somewhere around so you can fix things and make things. So I kept the old tricycle that my boys used, and this piece in particular was a piece that moved up for the seat, and you'll find there's a lot of U-shaped tricycles. It had a great base where I could attach it onto the frame, and I just bolted it fast. So from there I made a C hitch. A C hitch is perfect. That's the old tried and true, haul your wagon from your tractor miles and miles without thinking twice. There's no play in it. When the trailer pushes forward on your bike, there's no jiggle room and space to cause problems when you're hauling. You can see this tricycle part worked great. I mean, brought me up to the height I needed. I have this C hitch assembly and just a regular pin, so I can easily just set it on there, put my pin through, done. And this is one of the things about bikes is some bikes have different areas here to attach things to, but the most tried and true is this method where you run a piece of strap metal up on two brackets, one point here and one point here to hold weight. So the tried and true pin and C hitch is one of the best things you can use because you have mobility. You have up and down and you have side to side, and you are ready to go. There's no high mechanics to it. It's simple mechanics and it works well. So that's what we came up with, and it is a great design. You can turn that bike and have mobility that you wouldn't have with some of the spring action bikes, and especially with the new bikes today. You can just grab a hold of this and move it around once you unpin it. So I think it's a really great trailer, and I hope you enjoyed this video.